Hey everybody, Kevin Strange here, back with you again. I'm trying something a little different on this video. It's streaming directly to YouTube, so give me just a second. My camera setup has to be a little different than when I use StreamYard. So hello, my name is Kevin Strange. I am a cartoonist, novelist, and independent filmmaker, and I am here today to share my love of comics with you. Today, we're going to take a look at the works of Tradd Moore, a guy I think is one of, if not the best and weirdest and coolest modern artists working for mainstream comics. But first, of course, I am a comic book maker myself. You can check the link in the description for a link to my Patreon page. For only $2.99 a month, you get access to all of my comic books, novels, and feature films. Many comics in there, including Too Many Dabs, the story of Frankie the Fruit Fucker, who challenges Nixon and Hogan, Strangeville's resident weed dealers, to a dab smoking contest and manages to blow his consciousness into outer space, where he has to contend with Nixon and Hogan as machine elves, showing him all the terrible things he's done in his life, a la Ebenezer Scrooge and Christmas Carol. Also available on my Patreon, The Wizard of Ganj, Issue 1, which is the origin story of the famous Colombian smoke weed, Nixon and Hogan's weed that they just somehow, even though they're stoner losers who sit on the couch all day with no jobs, jacking off to tranny porn and huffing whippets, they still somehow manage to have the best weed in Strangeville to sell all the time. And this is the origin story, where Hogan normally finds the Colombian smokeweed at the base of this tree in the woods, but some little green-handed weirdo snatches his bag, fights him with a tug of war, and pulls Hogan into Weed World in the 420 dimension, where Hogan has to fight off, or the Weed Wizard takes off with his weed, and he has to fight off characters such as the ganja gremlins and the bong bats. All that available and more at the Patreon link below. $2.99 a month gets you access to all my comics. I've got a brand new comic coming out on October 1st, Count Kiefula, Dracula in Strangeville. That's a 28-page one-shot comic hitting the Patreon on October 1st. So check that out and consider becoming a member of the channel and get access to all of these members-only videos weeks, sometimes months in advance before they hit the public. So let's get right into Tradd Moore. Tradd Moore is this is him doing his own cover work here, and right off the bat on this is Silver Surfer Black #1. This is right off the bat, you can see how weird Tradd Moore's style is. To save his planet, Norrin Radd surrendered his freedom to become herald to the world-devouring Galactus. Coated with galactic glaze, given a surfboard, obeying his mental commands, and granted the power cosmic, he now soars the universe as a shining sentinel of the spaceways. Silver Surfer. So this is that's the quick story of who Silver Surfer is. Norrin Radd. The galaxy was in chaos after Thanos, the Mad Titan, was killed. The cosmos' greatest warrior gathered to hear the reading of his last will and testament, only to be attacked by Thanos' Black Order. In the ensuing battle, the Black Order opened a black hole and cast several heroes, including the Silver Surfer, into the abyss. Now, Drowning and unmoored in an endless void, the surfer is lost. Black, 1 of 5. Uh, Story script by Donny Cates, who I believe is probably the best modern comics writer. Uh, Teaming up with Trad Moore. Apparently, they, if I have this right, they went to art school together, or they've known each other. Maybe they've known each other for years and years, and they're working together here at Marvel. And Donny Cates writes some truly weird comic books for Marvel Comics. Dave Stewart on the colors, and he really manages Trad Moore's wonky psychedelic style with even crazier psychedelic colors. So I think this team, and then VC's Clayton Coles on the letters. I think this team works really well together and make some crazy comics together. Here's this. This was in the era. This is, what is this? 2016, 17, 18. I don't see the date on here. But this is when they were doing that that cringy Stan Lee virtue signaling. Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. They would splash this crap all over Marvel Comics for a Dragon's Age there, and thankfully destroyed bigotry and racism in its tracks. Bigotry and racism no longer exist in the world because Marvel Comics printed some bullshit in the front of their comic books that had nothing to do with comics. But let's get a little look at this. Galactus here is just nice first page splash here. Just beautiful looking comics, and the reference to Thanos dying there, all this stuff. I don't know if all of it ties in. I guess it does. I don't know. Donny Cates and Marvel have this like. They had this kind of continuity going where the Venom symbiote comes from a planet of symbiotes, and there's a god of this planet named Null, and not the owner of Kiwi Farms, but a symbiote god. And so Donny Cates, this is not Trad Moore. But this is Donny Cates writing, and you see this is Null right here, fighting Spider-Man and Venom, and they've got these symbiote dragons and shit. This is I like this comic a lot. These little spirals indicate Null's like minions, and this is rad. This is rad stuff, but. That ties into Silver Surfer Black. There's another Donny Cates Venom called the Abyss, which is I don't know. Does he get? I think the Abyss. This one might be pre. Let's see. Look at the end here and see if there's like a Null tease at the end. No, I don't think so. I'm not sure where this one falls in the continuity, but it's part of this stuff. And then there's Absolute Carnage written by Donny Cates. You can see the spiral, the Null spiral in Carnage here. And this is also gnarly, cool, gnarly, good stuff. We're going to take a look at these Venoms and Carnages during Monster Month in October. But I just wanted to kind of show off a little bit the sort of continuity that ties into Trad Moore's work on Silver Surfer Black. Cosmic Ghost Rider, written by Donny Cates, Baby Thanos Must Die, which is what's referenced there at the beginning when all the... Thanos as the Punisher. These are great books as well. Baby Thanos Must Die, and then also Thanos Wins, another Donny Cates, not Tradmore book, but very, very cool, very good. We're going to take a look at all of these eventually. I'm going to do an episode that focuses strongly on these works of Donny Cates, but this isn't about. This episode isn't about Donny Cates. This episode is about the gnarly artwork of Tradmore, which I think Donny Cates writes such bizarre stories that I think that Tradmore's art really captures the absolute weirdness of Donnie's storytelling. Look at this shot here. This is one of the iconic Tradmore shots, I think. Get the call this the dick cam? Shoot it towards his dick. The dick needs to be the focal point. Great work. Great foreshortening there with these this angle, this kind of like fisheye angle. But then you've got Cosmic Ghost Rider back here. You've got what is that dude's name? Bill. Beta Ray Bill is back there. All kinds of superheroes. And I guess this is the void they got thrown into or whatever. But you start seeing this like crazy psychedelic pattern that goes throughout the background outside the panels. The gutters in comics parlance, the gutters are filled with these weird psychedelic patterns, and you can just see the this art speaks for itself. Nothing else looks like this in modern comics. Well, nothing looks like this in comics, period. Like, I've never seen anybody draw like this. And that's why, the thumbnail, I always put these provocative thumbnails, trying to drag in, people that are easily, clickbaited. Hopefully they they stick around and hear me out and listen to my ranting about these amazing comics. But people get real upset. Oh man, he fights these like weird. I can't even I was looking at him earlier. Can't even really tell, what these things are. It's like a trio of guards in front of this giant gated door, and but yeah, I put these titles, these provocative titles like Tradmore, the modern Sam Kieth ? And that's going to trigger people. Some people can't handle the internet. Some people have an internet problem, specifically like a social media problem, where if they see something that isn't, in their estimation, entirely factually accurate to an unusual and, I would say, dangerous degree, dangerous to their own mental health, they absolutely lose their entire shit. I had a guy, I did a video a couple weeks ago called Doug TenNapel, the creator of Earthworm Jim. Doug TenNapel, the Christian R. Crumb ? And the comparison has nothing to do with the content of their art or their styles, but that they're both ink slingers to hyper ink slingers to an obsessive degree, where Doug has over a dozen graphic novels, and he just slings this crazy Winsor Newton Series 7 brush style and and noodles the shit out of his out of his work, and similar in my mind, a similar philosophy of drawing, a drawer philosophy, similar to Robert Crumb. Not that their styles or their philosophies or their values are similar at all, but just the ink slinging and drawing obsession between the two. And and I posted this in some Facebook comic book groups, this video, and there was a guy that literally was so triggered by the thumbnail, Doug TeNapel, the Christian R. Crumb ? That he developed his own argument for me as to why I would compare the two, and wrote me this novel of a comment. Half the novel was him building me a bullshit argument that I didn't make. And then the other half of this novel of a comment is him refuting the argument he built for me. And anything he could do. I kept commenting back, like, if you watch the video, you'll find out what I meant by that. If you watch the video, you know the answer. He flat out wanted nothing to do with watching my video. He only wanted to be triggered by a thumbnail and blocked me. Blocked me when I didn't sufficiently reply to his insane position he gave me in his novel of a comment. So I'm assuming the same type of thing is going to occur with this thumbnail, this provocative thumbnail, where I compare Tradmore, not to the Tradmore style of comics, not to the style of Sam Kieth, but to the fact that in the 90s, Sam Kieth got jobs at Marvel and DC doing this crazy outsider art that looked nothing like anything anybody was doing at the time in mainstream comics. And that's what Tradmore is doing in the modern era. He's doing these crazy compositions and has this absolute, this is nothing like the Marvel House style. And he gets work on these big name characters like Silver Surfer here, and he gets brought into this Donny Cates excuse me, into this Donny Cates storyline here of Null, the symbiote god, ties all this into Venom and Carnage and the Thanos, the Cosmic Ghost Rider Thanos series, with a style that just resembles nothing that's happening in mainstream comics today. So Silver Surfer blows up these guards, and it gives him, like, his silver is like pulled away from his hand, and now his hand is black. And this giant doorway creaks open a little bit, and a hand slithers out and yanks Silver Surfer in, and it's Null, the symbiote god. I am Null. You may call me God. That's what he's saying here. Here there be dragons, it says up here. I love his sword. He has a just looks so cool. Look at the waves in his hair. Ain't nobody drawing like this. And we get a really good Null in issue number 2 here. Here's a great Tradmore Galactus. It's just such a treat. His art is such a treat. Look at these. pages. Look at this. Look at this. The mouth of this monster down here. What? What? Look at that. Look at all those teeth. What? This is awesome. And then that's the money right there. This is awesome. And then that's the money right there. Let's just appreciate that for a minute, gang. Look at that. This is the sword. The foreshortening on this is insane. His leg coming out, his cool clawed arm, his hair still being all crazy. This is Silver Surfer, shooting him. He's like, now the dawn of time, because billions of years ago, I made their hidden god bleed. I mean, that is masterful right there. Ain't nothing you've ever seen looks like that. Look at this, the foreshortening on this hand. Woo! Beautiful stuff. Crazy, crazy shots. Look at this shot right here. That's Null with his sword, slamming it down. And I think he turned, this is now Silver Surfer. He turned him into a minion. He doesn't stay that way because Harold, some force has nullified, if you will, no pun intended, this. Look at the surfboard he makes. Can you see that? Can you make that out? That surfboard is gnarly looking. Just beautiful. Crazy art. That all gets taken away and he's back. Noel's really upset about it. Silver Surfer gives him an eye blast. Noel goes down, tumbles into I guess he tumbles back into the mouth of that thing down there. This thing, whatever the fuck this is. Noel tumbles back into it. It's his planet or his spaceship. I think it's his planet. And that is Silver Surfer making a beeline out of there. But Noel's not he's not worried about it because he's got a dragon. So we even get a crazy Tradmore dragon here, and I'm sure if Donnie and Trad have known each other for years, then Donnie knows how to write to Trad's strengths and give him all this crazy shit to work on. And so now Silver Surfer's being pursued by this dragon. We get this awesome shot of Surfer, double page spread here. Surfer in the foreground, this crazy dragon in the background, and Noel riding him. That's Noel's hair there. We get the trails off of Surfer's hands. Crazy shots here. Completely interrupted the comic with a double ad page. That's a bold move. Another double page spread with Surfer just annihilating the dragon. He flew into the dragon's mouth and shot shot his load. And here's Surfer over here after coming through the entire insides of the Dragon and exploding it from the inside out, leaving it just, nothing, floating in space. Noel's pit. Look at Noel's face. Look at the fucking teeth. He's pissed. And our final page is Ego, the living planet, was that voice we heard that called Galactus. This is, by the way, this little dot is Galactus. Or I'm sorry, this little dot is Silver Surfer. And this is Ego, the living planet. That's how big he is. And in this final panel, he says, "Shall we kill a god?" So that is look at the cover there. That's the cover for number 3. Crazy stuff. Yeah, that's my look at a little bit of Tradmore and Donny Cates via Silver Surfer Black. I hope you guys like that. I hope if you're a comics maker that this inspires you to maybe be a little maybe take some chances and be a little daring with your compositions and style. Maybe bend your style a little bit, and just goes to show that comics can look like anything. That's why I love this medium so much. That's why I love sharing these videos with you. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the video if you're not already. About 60% of the people who watch these videos aren't subscribed. These videos come out several times a week. I'm hoping to build this channel up to a daily comics channel. It's a tall order, a lot of work, but I want to share my favorite comics in my collection with you, and I also want to share my comic books with you. Hit the link below to my Patreon page. For only $2.99 a month, you get access to all of my comics, all of my novels, and all of my feature films. It's almost 20 years worth of Strangeville stories. I've been at this a long time, gang. I tell gnarly underground style stories like Wizard of Ganj, where we tell the origin story of Nixon and Hogan's famous Colombian smoke weed, and we meet the Weed Wizard and the Ganja Gremlins and the Bong Bats and the whole thing. It's a whole thing, gang. Too Many Dabs, the story of Frankie the Fruit Fucker, who challenges Nixon and Hogan at hanging out. They like to hang out at Strangeville Pizza and Weed, where they can read comics and eat pizza and smoke weed. And Frankie the Fruit Fucker challenges them to a dab smoking contest and gets himself so high he blows his consciousness into outer space, where Machine Elf, Nixon, and Hogan show him all the bad shit he's done in his life, a la Ebenezer Scrooge and the Christmas Carol for stoners. So make sure you hit the link to the Patreon below, or you can become a member of the channel for only $3 a month, and that gets you access to all of our videos weeks, sometimes months in advance of when they air to the public, and all of that revenue we make from the memberships and the Patreons and all that all goes into upgrading to more professional streaming software, better cameras, better microphones, and more comics. It allows us to buy more comics, allows us to post more videos, and allows us to make more comics. So it's a win-win for everybody. If you guys if you guys get some value out of these videos that we do, throw your financial support at us. We greatly appreciate it, and we will see you at the Dollar Bin, gang. And remember to keep on digging.